Dirtle Magic. Hello and welcome back. You can follow our post on Twitter and Facebook at DirtleMTG to stay up to date on our latest videos and other posts, and you can join a more robust discussion about Casual Commander at our blog, TheDiceBag.blog. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content to help the channel and the blog grow. Another way you can support the channel, though, is through our affiliate links in the description below. If you're looking for single sealed product or gaming accessories to protect all of that glory, please consider clicking the links in the description. Now, grab some spells, it's time to dirtle. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some Zaxara the Exemplary. Looking at our opening hand, we do have some land search in 2 lands. I don't know if we'll quite get us there, but it's only 1 away, so I think I want to risk it. Also have some removal, so not too shabby. Our commander, Zaxara the Exemplary, 1 black, green, blue for legendary 2/3 Nightmare Hydra. Death Touch, tap, add 2 mana of any 1 color, and whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token, then put X/1/1 counters on it. I know this one can go infinite with a few things like Freed from the Real, but did not do that in this deck. There are no combos. To our first opponent with an Isolated Chapel into play, tapped, is Karlov of the Ghost Council. White-black for a legendary 2/2 Spirit Advisor. Whenever you gain life, put 2 1/1 counters on Karlov of the Ghost Council. White-black, remove 6 of those counters, exile target creature. That could be a pain in the butt. Our next opponent, Spinerock Null into play, it's a hideaway land, is Rionya, Flame Dancer. 3 red for a legendary 3/4 Human Wizard. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create X tokens that are copies of another target creature you control. Where X is 1 plus the number of instant and sorcery spells you've cast this turn, they gain haste, exile them at the beginning of the next end step. To our turn, we get a Farce. Works for me. Let's play one of those Farce and pass it off. Next turn, we will Steve out a Swamp. Windswept Heath into play and cracked for our last opponent, who is General Pharaoh's Rokiric. 1 red, white for a legendary 3/1 Human Soldier. Hexproof from Monocolored. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 4/4 red and white Golem artifact creature token. I actually have this in my all gold Niv Mizzet deck, and it's just great because all my spells are, oh, would you like a side of Golem with that? Karlov's turn, command tower into play, tapping it down, passing it off, which is unusual, but I guess they want to get a life thing going first. Usually I see Karlov going super aggro with stuff. Over to Rionya, they have one of those new Fallout Mountains into play, Wily Goblin. When it enters the battlefield, create some treasure. To our turn, a Forest. Let's play Hinterland Harbor and get down that Steve. And we'll pass it off there. So I think end of turn, depending if we need to block with Steve or not. On Rionya's turn, sack it, get that Swamp, get a Forest down, get our commander down. We do have Curse of the Swine. That will probably be good later, so we don't initially want to do that. I'd probably get down Pier first and see how things go. Arid Mesa into play for the General. It gets the crack. Sacred Foundry into play tapped. Pass it off. Over to Karlov. Oh, okay. So Profane Tutor actually got suspended. That's what that mana was. Yeah, so again, I was actually just posting a comment to somebody else who had posted a comment on my YouTube channel, redundancy there, about how Magic Online is pretty bad at telling you when you have stuff in these windows here. That's always a bit annoying. Karlov of the Ghost Council coming down for that player, though. Yeah, so suspend, Chancellor of the Annex, I've had a lot of problems with trying to tell people that that's happening, and then people are just like, whoa, my spell got countered, what the hell? Magic Online needs to, I don't know, maybe do like a blinky blue box or something, I don't know. Imperial Seal being used with the mana from City of Brass. That's a tutor. Don't like seeing those, like I keep saying. Your owner's turn, a Harmonic Prodigy coming down. That's a card I still have to pick up, I think. It just has a interesting amount of potential. Not to mention, it just doubles everything. Who doesn't like doubling? Except mana. I'm not a fan of mana doubling. Wily Goblin on the attack, it's off into the General. Let's sack the Steve. Damage is good, by the way. General down to 37. Let's get a Swamp. We get Metallurgic Summons. Could be good later. Let's get down to the forest and summon our commander. Hopefully it doesn't immediately eat some removal. I did tell our opponents we don't run any combos, but, you know, Magic Online. We're all randos in this game, so whether they trust me or not, we'll have to find out. Over to the General. Plains in the play. And it's the General himself coming to grace the battlefield. Profane Tutor gets another suspension counter taken off. It will be cast. And there it is. They already tutored for something else, so I don't know what they're setting up. Probably their engine. And for consistency's sake, it'll be there. If we get, is it Pest Infestation? Probably break a lot of that stuff. Tends to be enchantments. Can be artifacts. Hey, Swamp into play for Karlov. Kea Ghost Assassin coming down. That's ironic. Pretty sure Karlov got killed by her. Well, killed? Ectoplasmed? Not entirely sure. Each opponent will lose 2 life and they will gain 2 life. And Karlov will trigger for the first time this game. Over to Rionya, Mountain into play. Yeah, they could summon her and then go to combat, but they'd also have to cast something to get the real trigger going. So let's see what they do. Might want to wait a turn, who knows. They do not. They cast their commander. My bet is on the Wily Goblin with the Harmonic Prodigy out. Get a bunch of treasure just to fuel those effects. They will need some kind of draw source, though. That would get the engine going real well. Alright, to combat. We have Wily Goblins off into Kea. Having expendable tokens that can attack is always a good thing. Karlov is on the intercept against one of them. To our turn, we get Nature's Claim. Well, let's play a forest. Let's go... I don't know, there's not really safe to attack. Let's get down Pier for now. Keep up mana for the claim and the rapid hybridization otherwise. We will get to search out Toothy though, so that's always good. We get Toothy, let's just pass it off. Smothering Tithe coming down for the general after a land. How many good cards are there for that deck though is my question. Over to Karlov, Smothering Tithe triggers for the first time. No attacks out Karlov. Second main, will they activate Kea? Yep, there it is. Each opponent discards a card and they draw a card. But I think at this point we need to keep potential card draw, and Curse of the Swine is sorcery, so let's go ahead and discard the Curse of the Swine. Alright, let's see what everybody else might have discarded. Master Splicer. Okay, so Golem Tribal it might be. And Kazal's Fury. That makes sense. Kallias, Trader of Get. Don't like that much. Black's gotten a lot of graveyard hate recently. It's not my favorite. But, I mean, they are the graveyard color more or less. Just go ahead, turn it into a Frog Lizard, pass it off there. Over to Rionya. It's Dragon's Approach. I'm really hoping we don't see too much of that. I've run into that a few times. It can be a very good deck pretty quick. Although with Rionya and getting back all that treasure, they could cast it a few times a turn. Still though, they're going to need some kind of draw engine. There's Dragon's Approach again, we'll take another 3. We are down to 32, the General down to 29, Karlov down to 31. Do the combats, they're going to get some treasures back. Total, they get 6 new Wily Goblin tokens. Pretty good, that also means 6 treasure, which they have. Okay, so off into Kea for 3 of them, that's fine. Are they going to attack with the other ones? Alright, and then 1 each into everyone? Yeah. Alright. That's fine, we'll block with our commander against the one attacking us. Hopefully there's no combat trick, but they do have 7 mana available. Kea goes down, and Spinerock Null gets an activation during the second main. Oh, it's just another Dragon's Approach. Well, there you go. That's also how it was activated, by the way. The creatures alone weren't enough to do it. We're down to 29, the General down to 25, and Karlov down to 28. To our turn, we get Death Sprout. Could be good. We would need double black first, though. We'll not pay for the tithe. We do have Zaxara to give us the double black, but I do want to start getting down the Metallurgic summons just so we can get some tokens going. And there we go. Let's go ahead and blow up the Smothering Tithe, just in case. And we get a token. It's a 1/1. And we'll pass it off there. The General's turn, it's Assemble the Legion. Well, that's on flavor. Although I don't know if that card was ever unflavorful, if you will. They also get their first 4/4 Golem. A token I definitely need to pick up at some point for my glorious Niv Mizzet deck. Wow, that is jagged and straight, just like the Legion. Legion's Initiative coming down as well. Another Golem into play. So right now all their creatures are getting 1/1 from the Initiative, and Assemble the Legion, I wish we had saved that Nature's Claim. Yeah, that seems pretty bad. Let's see where the Journal's going. It's going off into Rionya, okay. No blocks, Rionya takes it down to 34, up to 4 commander, rolling on over to Karlov. Yeah, so the General deck turning out okay. They will need some card draw, though. And if you saw my Belborka videos, the Exile and card draw, the Impulsive card draw, can be very good, especially when you get up there in mana like that. And their board position's more or less secured at the moment with Assemble the Legion. A little bit slow at this point against Rionya, but it should be fine. Ooh, Sunscorch Regent. Good card. Very simple, but very good. Well, Death Sprout as a target, that's always nice to know. So the problem with Sunscorch Regent is that they will gain 1 life, Karlov will get up to 4 counters. So as long as Rionya wants to actually do a board kind of situation where they want to cast 2 things, that means Karlov has some exile potential, and that's not good for us. It's Torbran, the Thane of Red fell for Rionya. Sunscorch Regent triggers for the first time this game as well. Battle him. Add red for each creature you control. Demanding Dragon. That's one I've tried to use myself. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's necessarily that good, but you never know. Karlov up to 8 counters, by the way. Definitely able to exile something. Let's see who they choose for the effect. It is Karlov. So they either take 5 damage, or they sacrifice a creature. Karlov does... Oh, they do sacrifice a creature. I was going to say, they do have a lot of life gain in the deck, most likely. I would just take the 5. But I suppose with Torbran out, you really can't do that. Rionya triggers. I'm thinking dragons. Yep. Oh, and a wily goblin. Okay. Couple dragons, couple wilies. Seems okay. The dragon does say, or it sacrifices. Could be something good in, like, Thraxamunder, I suppose. Again, it still lets them take the 5. It gives them a choice, so... But when you double up like that, it can mean some bad things. Alright, they're picking Karlov for the next dragon. And Karlov for the second. Alright, so Karlov takes the first 5. And maybe the second 5. They do down to 16. Let's see where those dragons go. Wily Goblins off into us. Dragon off into Karlov. And Dragon off into Karlov. So we'll just take the 2. No big deal there, I guess. As long as they don't get a bunch of other dragons approaches. Sunscorch Regent on the intercept against 1 dragon, so they'll only be taking 5 on Karlov's side. Karlov down to 9, we're down to 23. To our turn, we get Retribution of the Ancients. Unfortunately, we don't have anything right now. Let's go ahead and get down Toothy. Card draw is always good. Hopefully it won't immediately die or something. And I guess we'll get down Retribution just because. Maybe it'll eat some removal. Let's just pass it off there. Not getting any X spells. The deck does have 19 of them, so I figured we'd run into 1 by now, but I guess we didn't. A few of our draw spells are also X spells, so that is somewhat problematic. Over to the Journal. Assemble the Legion triggers for the first time this game. They get a red and white soldier. It has haste, and is a 2/2 because of the Legion's initiative. Aurelia the War Leader. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's a lot of double smacks. Golems on the swing. They're off into Rionya so far. Aurelia does have haste, so let's see if it goes anywhere. It goes into us. Yeah, I didn't think they would risk Karlov exiling it. Can be a good rattlesnake. Unfortunately, we have no blockers, so we'll take the 4. Rionya intercepts with 1 wily goblin. Okay, so they will be taking the 5, we'll be taking the 4, and then the Journal gets another attack phase. They don't take the opportunity to attack. Interesting. Over to Karlov's turn. Let's see if they can do anything. I mean, a board wipe would help them out pretty much. They could exile something first in response. Austere command, destroy artifacts, destroy all creatures with mana value 4 or greater. Ah, sad face. So we don't even get a counter on Toothy. Alright, let's put it on the stack. Unfortunately, we will draw no cards. Let's return our commander to the command zone. No attacks out of Karlov. Over to Rionya. I also want to apologize for any noise in the background. There's a neighbor doing yard work, and there's just nothing I can do about that. It's a Dragon's Approach. We'll be taking 3 again. 0 cards in hand after that for the Rionya player. We're down to 16, 26 for the General, and 6 for Karlov. To our turn, we get Beldros Witherbloom. If only it had been a turn suitor, although it probably would have been wiped out anyway. Let's go ahead and play the Iran Frostfang. And go to attacks. Let's swing into Rionya just to get some card draw. I don't want to risk being exiled by Karlov. Alright, we get a card. I hope it's a land. Preferably a swamp. Terramorphic Expanse, as good as a swamp, and we can't use mana right now anyway. Might as well get it out of the way. Swamp into play, tapped, pass it off. To the Journal's turn, assemble the Legion triggers again. They get 2 tokens this time. Assemble the Legion's going to get out of hand if we can't destroy it. Okay, let's see where they might risk attacking. We can defend against their creatures, so that's not too bad. I bet Rionya is going to be taking some damage here. It looks like they're taking all 3 hasty creature tokens. The good thing about Assemble the Legion is it just replaces them all over time. So you can swing with some abandon. Damage is good. Rionya down to 22. Been a pretty back and forth game. I wish we had been able to do more. Not getting X spells kind of hurts a lot, especially if we can't get recursion for him. But we're doing okay, I think, considering everybody's been smacked around by some Dragon's Approaches. Night Whisper. Draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. They go down to 4 on Karlov's turn. The Celestus. Okay, did not see that coming. Let's check it out. 3-mana legendary artifact in case you do something with like Kestis, I suppose. When it becomes night or night becomes day, gain 1 life. You may draw a card if you do discard a card. Okay, so it makes sense in that deck. It has become day, by the way. No attacks out of Karlov. Yeah, everybody's going to be pretty dirtily, although the general is going to be able to remain on the offensive because of Assemble the Legion alone. Hopefully we'll draw some removal for it, but we'll see how things go. Unfortunately, Beldros is also not going to be very beneficial to us as far as mana goes, because paying 10 life right now is just not within the cards here. Rionya doesn't do anything on their turn, 1 card in hand. Rolling on over to us. Celestus will flip it to nighttime. Karlov will get to gain 1 life and trigger. There it goes. They'll get to draw a card and discard a card. We get Elementalist Palette. Let's go to attacks. We will swing in probably at the general this time around. They only have the 1 defender. Oh, looks like we have a response. Hold on a second. It's Master Warcraft. I don't really like that much at all. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and just blow up the general then. Get another island into play. We'll also get a 4/4. Won't be able to attack, but that might save us. We get a construct token. The general gets, I don't know, grown from his head. I don't know what Death Sprout exactly does. I just like to call it rampant murder. Let's get an island. And Master Warcraft goes off. They can only cast this before attackers are declared, so main phase or beginning of combat like they did. Choose which creatures attack this turn. You choose how creatures block this turn. So we have no control over this. They're going to use it basically to wipe all of the boards here, which is problematic. We have our Frostfang off into Karlov. It'll probably just get exiled or something. Pier off into Rionya. Yep, and they'll force them to block, and everybody gets to die. Master Warcraft is a highly underrated card in my opinion, especially for a combat-focused guild or deck. Karlov is exiling the Frostfang, and there goes some of our card draw. Sadness. Karlov down to 4 counters is a 6/6. Harmonic Prodigy is assigned to block Pier, and we lose our 2 mainstays at this point. And we'll pass it off there. To the general, they get 3 soldier tokens with haste. It's the general coming back down during their turn. Yeah, we are probably not long for the world. They could just swarm us. At that rate, we could try a construct to chump in with the golem, but we'd be taking 12 damage. So yeah, we're not long for the world, I don't think. Unfortunately, we just couldn't draw any X-Spells with Zaxara down. Karlov could still have something up their sleeve. White and black's good at removing lots of things. Let's see where they're going so far. So far, all into Karlov. Golem into us, yep, we figured. And we have 1 soldier token, 2, sorry, into Rionya. So unless Karlov has something here, I'm pretty sure they're dead. They would probably need something, and I don't even know if it would work right now, like akin to Force of Despair. But I don't even know if they're being attacked with the tokens that came into play. And Karlov is gone. It said they disconnected. I don't know if that was them just quitting the game or not. It didn't say they quit, so I didn't get to block either. So I guess we'll just take the 5 and go down to 11. Kind of uncool, but okay. Over to Rionya. Let's see if they have anything in the 2 cards they have now in hand. Rionya with a Stormkill and Artist coming down. No attacks at Rionya. Rolling on over to us. We need a board wipe. That's basically what we need. Altered Ego is not quite what we're looking for there. And nothing to really copy it either. Let's try Elementalist Palette. And then do Altered Ego. I want to see if it triggers for X if we don't pay for X. Because it doesn't say we have to pay for the X specifically. Although I imagine we do. Alright, so I did pay for the X just in case. I didn't want to risk it too much. We'll put 2 charge counters on the palette. First X spell of the game, and Zaxara's not there. Bunch of sadness. I guess we'll copy the golem. That way we can block just about anything, really, but let's just pass it off. Due to the General's turn, assemble the Legion triggers again. And because they all have haste, we still can't block enough. I think this will be game here. We have a golem off into us. Yep, makes sense to me. And then, let's see. We'll probably take in 5 or 6 of the tokens. So they can't kill us both necessarily. They do have 2 cards in hand and all untapped mana, though. Alright, so let's see. We're taking 4 tokens. Yep, and a golem. 6 tokens over into Rionya. Let's block some stuff. See if we can survive. We'll trade golems. Not the best move ever. They'll just get some back. We'll be taking 6, looks like. Alter Ego goes down. We are down to 5. Rionya down to 6. Nothing in the second main from the General, so rolling on over to Rionya. To be fair, they could, if they get enough Dragon Approaches, kill us right now. But then how they take care of the General player, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, next turn it's board wipe, or I don't even know. And we still have to deal with Assemble the Legion because the tokens have haste anyway. Preferably if we got Propaganda, it could be better. Faithless looking at the Rionya player, Stormkiln Artist is going to trigger twice. More treasure. I just want to call him the Stormkiln Arsonist. I don't know why. Rionya Fire Dancer coming back down for that player. So that means they'll get a few more things to attack with anyway. Could easily just go through us. That shouldn't be a problem. We have a Chaos Warp on the Harmonic Prodigy. That's out of the General. Alright, let's see what they get out of it. Thrumming Stone. Okay. At least they can't just freely get some treasure necessarily. They'd also have to get some cost reduction going to keep getting those Dragon's Approaches down. But they're a little bit closer to winning now. I don't think it'll save them though. So they don't get any extra attackers for the turn. Bit of a sad face. To our turn, we get Minamo School at Water's Edge. Well, good if we had our commander. Let's go ahead and play it anyway. And we could play Beldros just to have an extra blocker. I mean, that's something. Let's play Beldros. It'll give us a pest and we gain 1 life, but again, I don't think we're getting out of this one. To the General's turn, double cleave. Target creature will gain double strike until end of turn. And they get a golem. They are targeting their commander. Oh, my mistake. Now to the General's turn. They get a bunch more soldiers, and we get 1 pest. Which is about all it amounts to, unfortunately. Soldiers straight block into us. Yep, we are gone. And then the other block and the golem off into Rionya. Yep, well, good game to our opponents. We'll try to take some of the blockers with us, though, because why not? And a pest token. And down we go, -7, -2 to Rionya. Let's go ahead, give it to the winner. Some of the Legion for the win this game, though. Definitely MVP. Dragon's Approach, only other card in Rionya's hand, yeah. So we would have been probably dead either way. But man, we could not get any X-Spells and Zaxara dying. Just no bueno. We do have ramp in the deck and everything. We'll go take a look at the deck. And I'll put it linked in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. I worked on it a little bit before the game. Switched out some cards. Tried to rejigger it a lot. It's an interesting deck where you want to have lots of mana. And that's easier to do with mana doublers that I don't like using in a casual setting, so it is what it is. I did play a game before this where it got down to 1v1 and it had a lot of gas, but sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And there it is, 1 for us, 5 for the winner. Let's go take a look at the deck. Okay, here's the deck. Have a lot of X spells, 19 of them. We only saw, I think, 1 in the Altered Ego, so yep, bit of a sad face. Other than that, we have a lot concentrated around 2, 3, and 4. Couple of 1 drops, not too many. Do have some extra card draw, didn't hit too much of that either. And around Frostfang got destroyed. Metallurgic Summons is, I don't know, we'd have to run more artifacts to really get the most benefit out of it. I do think it's good for the deck, I just think the deck maybe needs more artifacts. Now that they have those artifact dual lands from Modern Horizons, I think slapping a few of those in here wouldn't be a bad idea. Other than that, we do have some untapped synergies, despite not having any combos. We have Kiora Behemoth Beckoner, untapped target permanent, -1, plus its card draw on it, so it's part of our card draw package. We also saw Minamo this game, even though it didn't get to do anything. I also added in Sereth the Viper's Fang, so our guys can have Hexproof and Death Touch on the attack. Makes them a little bit hard to block, and we can untap our commander for more mana, netting 1 extra mana. So I figure I'd try her out. It kind of goes with the deck's theme too, so win-win. I really do like the design of this card. I'm glad I got one in paper. And again, we just didn't see too much else. This card, though, I played last game when I was testing this out, Combine Chrysalis. This card is pretty good, especially if you can upgrade your tokens and get that 4/4 beast with flying. It can only be done on your own turn and you only get the one, but I think there's still potential of just having the Anthem effect of flying for your tokens. In your case, like I said, I'll put the link in the description below for the deck list if you want to check it out and maybe try to improve on the build. Zaxara is pretty hard to build, especially if you don't go infinite mana. It's just got this hard lock on the amount of mana you can have, and you gotta be left alone with it. So I don't know that this deck is something where you can't necessarily have something like doubling mana or lots of mana dorks or something like Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. I don't know if the deck will ever be good enough without some of those things, but we gave it a go. Anyway, until next time, stay safe out there.